Afro hair is the most misunderstood, fragile, and defiant hair texture. But there is something beautiful about it. Its untappable kinks and curls.
Catastrophe. Look what happened to my hair. Normally it's straight. I was just walking down the hall when poof, my whole head of hair puffed up just like that.
That's some nappy-headed hose there. I'm gonna tell you that now. Man, that's some. Ooh.
I think she's such a tiny frame that this hair to me overwhelms her. Like I feel like she smells like patchouli oil.
Afro hairstyle is braided locks. It is a protective style for essentials for curly hair. I love it because it always helps my hair to grow, and yeah, it just protects from the weather outside, from the wind, and it keeps it all together all the time. And it's also a beautiful hairstyle because you can style it however you want.
Afro hair has been systematically associated with negative stereotypes that undermine blackness. For example, being called nappy, unprofessional, and unkept. The origin of these stereotypes are better understood through Black history. It goes without saying that the colonization of Africa from the 17th century onwards to this day has drastically affected ideas of blackness.
Best hair products to use is Cantu, in my opinion, because I use that for a very long time now, and it never showed any negative side effects, and it always helped my hair grow every single time, over the 4 years. And I've seen a lot of change, a lot of protective side effects, and I really love it.
Experimented with a lot of hair products, but to be honest, I don't really use that much. I only wet my hair and then put olive oil in it and then plait it kind of like how it is now, and then I kind of just leave it. I don't really have a solid routine because I tend to just buy different products now and then and just experiment.
In the United States, the African slaves were stripped of their rich heritage and elaborate native hairstyles, and over a generation of brainwashing and enslavement. Their traditional hair information and routines were destroyed. Black people who covered or wore their hair and relaxed hairstyle were considered to be more civilized in Western society, to the extent that in 1786, black women were required by the law to cover their hair in the state of Louisiana. In 1905, Madam C.J. Walker revolutionized Afro hair care with her range of homemade hair treatments and ointments that promised to beautify kinky hair curls. She was the first black female of the time to become a self-made millionaire, and her hair products led the way to re-establishing traditional hair information that generation of slavery had destroyed.
Wearing black people hairstyles on other kind of cultural hairstyle it's a big part of being appreciated, because if you take it positively, you are integrating people black people hairstyle into more society. This is something that never happened before, because mostly women or any guy, they used to cut their hair or relax it, but nowadays more people can wear it, so more people can accept it into society more naturally, and I guess without any problem.
To be honest, I think if they wear it but they're appreciating the culture of it, I think that's okay. But as long as you're not mocking it, I don't really see a problem with it. But I can understand why people wouldn't like that, because there's a whole culture to it. There's a whole background to it and a history to it that I think that people might be ignorant about. But at the end of the day, I think if they know about it and they appreciate it, I don't see any problem with it.
Still, Western standards of beauty remain prominent in defying blackness. In 1948, Britain, hot combs and chemical perms are popular, used by black people to alleviate themselves of their kinky curls.
Now for an eye-opener on woman's top question, hair. Most hairdressers spend their time and skill in trying to put curls into women's hair and keep them there long enough to justify all the talk about permanent waves. Here, at the British Colonies Club, we met a hair expert who does permanent waving in reverse. Her clients are all Africans. They're born with a permanent wave. But do they like it? They're women, aren't they? Round they come to Carmen, England, to be unpermed. Idea is to take out all the kinks in the hair and give it a permanent straightener. First move after washing is to soak the hair with a number of secret oils and then divide it into sections, each one to be treated separately. The whole process, by the way, takes at least 2 hours. Everything is now well on the way to a complete straight hairdo.
Perm's chemical and heat straightening products are used for relaxing and straightening kinky curly hair, making Western ideas of beauty more attainable for people with this hair texture, but not without consequences.
I don't think it's been discrimination, but I have had people that have constantly wanted to like touch my hair and tell me they'd like to see my hair straight, and there've been like little comments now and then, but I don't think it's necessarily discrimination, more just curiosity and ignorance, to be honest.
I cut my hair every 3 months. That's because it shows like a little bit of a damage like at the ends. It's natural to get it because Afro hair is a little bit fragile, and that's why it needs to be cut, like let's say in long terms, like mostly every 3 months, because that's the best, I think in my opinion, that's the best time to cut it. So I cut it like every 3 months. For me, curly hair is it's a heritage that I have received from my parents. It's a beautiful gift that I carry all the time in my head.
It's just a part of my identity and who I am, because I was born with it, so I kind of had to learn to love it, because I hated my hair for like a really long time, but over the years I've kind of just grown to accept it and love it for what it is.
Texture, they have like different texture, and when I was at like a hairdresser, when I was dealing with them, sometimes it might be hard to handle it, but sometimes it was like easy to handle it. But that's because the amount of moisture of the hair needed to be like to have like the right treatment. So sometimes it can be difficult, but you need like the right hand to monitor it, like the right hand or the right product to do it. So it needs like a little bit of strength and a little bit of knowledge to handle it. But handling like Afro hair is such a beautiful experience.
However, along came the Black Power movement in the 60s, which was all about re-establishing black pride, and one way it was done was by rocking the natural state of kinky curly hair, the Afro. Today, black people rock their hair in a number of creativity and natural hairstyle. However, Western standards of beauty still remain idealistic and generally exclude naturally kinky curly hair, in normative standards of beauty.